The battle between Code and Boruto will showcase the power of the gods, as two people from the Karma Trio has decided to fight, and now they will have to embrace who they are as Otsusukis, as it is time for them to showcase their Otsutsuki powers, especially Boruto. However, this seems to have distracted many of us from an even more important fight, the fight between Boruto and Code, but in the time skip. So what really went down between Boruto and Code in the time skip? So one of the things we know about this fight is that it occurred early on in the time skip. There is about a 1-year window between Boruto leaving the village and going rogue alongside Sasuke, and then this fight occurring. We also know that Boruto and Sasuke left the village at the time and were also being pursued by various ninjas from the 5 great nations. I think they must have helped out because we know that they are in constant communication between each other, and they are also aware of Kawaki's existence through the various Zoom meeting Kage summits that they had thanks to the improvement of technology. So now that they see Boruto as Kawaki, the person who killed the 7th Hokage, they have definitely pursued Boruto and Sasuke in the time skip. Because after Naruto's death, I believe Shikamaru must have informed the rest of the 5 great nations. They must have had a Zoom meeting Kage summit, but this seems a little bit more important, so maybe they even came together and had the Kage summit, which is where they decided that they were going to be pursuing Boruto, a new rogue ninja, and Sasuke, who was a shinobi who already went rogue before. This is now his 2nd time going rogue. It was during this time in the time skip that Code saw this as an opportunity for him to come and fight who he believes to be Kawaki and get him out of the way, since he has the strongest grudge for Kawaki, who he now sees as Boruto. Side note, I wonder how Code will feel when he finds out that Boruto and Kawaki have swapped their lives and his memories are all mixed up. I don't know what his reaction may be, but it could be quite interesting, or just a normal plain reaction where he just doesn't believe what he is being told. Nevertheless, Code saw Boruto and Sasuke going rogue as an opportunity for him to get rid of both of them, as they were both in his death note. But is that really the case? Did Code meet Boruto and Sasuke in the time skip? Because whenever Code mentions this fight versus Boruto, he makes it quite clear that this fight only happened between him and Boruto. They had a 1v1. So if Code had a 1v1 between him and Boruto, then it means that Sasuke wasn't there. Because if Sasuke was there, he was definitely going to join the fight and help Boruto out. This is also made quite clear when Code says, "Did you forget how helpless you were against me 2 years ago?" He doesn't say how helpless you and Sasuke were. He doesn't say how helpless both of you guys were. He says you, which makes it quite clear that he is not mentioning Sasuke. And if he is not mentioning Sasuke, it means Sasuke did not participate in this fight. So if Sasuke did not participate in this fight, it means that he is not dead, and he is still alive somewhere out there. However, this conversation has brought up 2 camps. Those who believe that Sasuke is still dead and they would bring up the 10 tails to justify their theory, and others who believe that Sasuke left Boruto because of how strong the omnipotence was, which is a rather interesting theory. So let's discuss the first camp, which believes that we have been given a big clue of Sasuke being dead by Boruto not knowing where the 10 tails is. So let me give you guys a bit more context. So in chapter 35, we see Sasuke go into Ishiki's palace and sees the same 10 tails that was sealed and that is also in the possession of Code. So it means that Sasuke knows where the 10 tails is because Code uses that same 10 tails and turns them into claw grinds. The problem comes where Boruto tells Code to take him where he stored the 10 tails, which would mean that Boruto doesn't know where the 10 tails is. But if Sasuke was still alive, he would have been able to tell him where the 10 tails was, which means that Sasuke is dead because Boruto doesn't know where the 10 tails is. This would be a good theory until you realize that this was already addressed in chapter 72, where Code literally says that Sasuke knows this location but can't come because he doesn't have the Rinnegan anymore, as this location is only accessible if you have time-space ninjutsu. But Boruto and Kawaki can because they are fully Otsutsuki, which means that this place is no longer safe. This is a big hint that we are given, which means that after he made the claw grimes, he stored the Ten-Tails husk that probably remained somewhere else so that Boruto or Kawaki would not be able to access it. So this means that Boruto, not knowing where the Ten-Tails husk is, doesn't mean that Sasuke is dead. It just means that Code moved it somewhere else, which means that Sasuke is still alive. So what about the next camp? That would bring up that Sasuke is not with Boruto because he is affected by the omnipotence, even after Sarada awakened her Mangekyo Sharingan, proving that Boruto was truly Boruto. This is quite interesting because it does make sense in certain aspects, as Sarada and Sumire in the first chapter of the time skip saw that slowly and maturely the omnipotence brainwashed everyone, effectively giving them new memories. So they believe that Sasuke ended up leaving Boruto even though his daughter proved to him that he was truly Boruto because he ended up getting brainwashed over time. At first, it was a little bit more easier for him to believe so, but after the omnipotence started to kick in even more, he was completely brainwashed and ended up leaving Boruto completely. This is quite interesting, and it would be a good theory, but it's just not realistic, because it would destroy the importance of Sarada awakening her Mangekyo Sharingan, and also, wouldn't it mean that Sasuke would just have to come back to the village since he doesn't trust Boruto anymore? He would definitely try to do something to help, because we know that Sasuke is not a bad person. He's doing it because he believes this is the right thing to do. So I personally believe if he was actually brainwashed in a sense by the omnipotence, he would just come back to the leaf and help out. But a lot of people are just going to tell me that, oh no, Boruto ended up killing him. So that's why he didn't come back to the village, because he had no chance to escape. This is what happens when Sasuke doesn't appear for 2 chapters back to back. People have created all sorts of theory and they won't budge. A lot of people think Sasuke is dead. You can give them reasons, you can give them facts, but they will still not believe you. And I'm not going to do too much. We're going to see. Personally, I do believe we're going to be seeing Sasuke in the next chapter or the chapter after it as a major cliffhanger, because at the end of every volume there usually is some sort of crazy cliffhanger that happens. So I think we could end up seeing Sasuke in this next chapter if the volume is only 3 chapters, or if the volume is 4 chapters, in the chapter that comes after it. But you guys let me know if you think Sasuke is alive or not. But there's a lot of discussion about how people feel about Code and different various characters in the series right now. Because this guy right here says, I think Code is the first underdog villain antagonist, which is actually quite great, cause it's rarely seen before. Yeah, Code's archetype of a villain, it's a different villain, that's all I can say. I am a Code fan in some sense, but I need to see him get the W. It's crazy that he got his W in the time skip, but we didn't get to see it. That's crazy. His first real W, he gets it in the time skip, but we don't get to see it. Maybe we will get a flashback before the fight actually starts, which could be interesting, but I think we're just going to go right into the fight, and everything is quite interesting to me. I don't know, his archetype of a main character is quite different. He might just be somebody like Buggy, who is just a L, but it's still relevant in the story. He might be that archetype of a person, because we know that right now we're going to be switching villains. It's going to be something along with the Ten-Tails. I don't know exactly what Kijimoto is cooking, but I trust he has something planned for Code and the new villain, which seems to be the Ten-Tails. The next comment is by Shadow. Alright, I just read it. I really like the stuff about the Ten-Tails, and they kind of evolve. I also like the interaction between Hima and Kawaki. The fact that Kawaki doesn't want to fully accept the place of Boruto is cool. I do agree with this. This has a lot of people, sometimes they read the chapter and they don't catch on to some of the things that Kijimoto is putting up right now, some of the hints to Kawaki's philosophy. This pissed off a lot of people because they didn't like this exchange, but this is really good in my opinion, because it makes Kawaki a morally great person. He's not happy of what happened. We know that Kawaki didn't know anything about the omnipotence. It's not something that he was meticulously planning. It's something that happened, he took advantage of it, but it's not like he wants to get praised as being Boruto, because that's not really what he wants. He's just taking advantage of something that is happening to him right now. But waiting a whole month for the next chapter is long. I don't want to create any theories this time, just want to enjoy the manga. Really missing Boruto's drawing. Also, seeing Sarada use the Chidori and her fireball is so nostalgic, reminds me of teen Sasuke, and I cannot wait to see her use her Susanoo. This is true, I do understand waiting a whole month, sometimes I'm like, damn, bro, this is kind of too long. But every time, to me, I'm just counting the days. I'm counting the days, and I'm slowly getting back to the monthly thing. I'm happy with the monthly chapters. Obviously, I would have preferred it was bi-weekly, but at least they're not stressing out. Ikimoto's not stressing out and things of the sort, so I can deal with it. But waiting a chapter, I can understand how it could be very exhausting. But I'm just happy we don't have to wait 3 months for the next chapter. I'm fine with that. The next comment is by Mr. Hammy. Boruto's new Rasengan, I think, will be similar to Boruto's stream and Borishiki's Rasengan, making him so fast that he shoots like a bullet, possibly being invisible as well, since his vanishing Rasengan can disappear and appear. I have a video coming up very soon about this, but I really like the path that he is going, taking on properties of different Rasengans. It would be peak. But I never heard the Borishiki Rasengan thing, because if Boruto like takes the properties of Borishiki's Rasengan and it just goes as fast, not as fast as a bullet, because we know that he goes crazy fast, but if he like goes in a bullet manner, I don't know, it would be something really cool. I really do enjoy this one. The next comment is by Keyshawn Johnson. People don't know how good of a writer Kishimoto is, to the point where each chapter low-key leaves you off a cliffhanger, to the point where you're like, damn, what's going to happen next? I definitely agree. And a lot of people say, oh, Kishimoto's not writing or Kishimoto's not involved, but this time skip chapter, the prophecy arc, everything, I'm just seeing Kishimoto's writing. I'm like, damn, okay, this is Kishimoto writing right here. The things with the tentacles and how he's low-key building up things, different theories are being confirmed, different theories are being suggested, he's giving off hints. I really enjoy this. I can definitely tell that Kishimoto is the one writing right there, and a lot of people don't appreciate it, but for those who can actually see what Kishimoto is cooking, I really think that we're all enjoying it right now. The next one is by this comment right here. I can't read your name. It seems like someone showed Boruto possibilities of the future that can be, but it's fun to read because it's so interesting. The character designs are fire. We don't really know too much about what's happening. If it stays like this, Naruto and Sasuke and Kakashi get involved the right way in the Boruto story, we will hands down have the best manga out right now. This is true. I'm really enjoying the path that the story is taking. I was kind of scared of how they would execute the time skip because there was a lot of hype, there was a lot of expectations, but people are satisfied. We can see the numbers going crazy in Manga Plus. We are second right now, and we will be first when the next chapter comes out. People are really enjoying what Kishimoto is cooking up right now, and I definitely agree. The thing about Boruto potentially seeing the future, I won't talk too much about that. Have a video coming up soon. But this is a very interesting thing. I really enjoy this comment. The next comment is by Jashiki. That man Boruto is giving me mad Momoshiki vibes, especially with that look and how he's looking down on Code, how Momoshiki looks down on everybody. Possibly merging. I think eventually Code will work with Boruto. Code wants to go with the Otsutsuki, but I believe they will just use him like a pawn and he will end up working with Boruto because Code isn't a bad guy. Honestly, he's just misled. And where is Amato? We cannot forget about him. He is mad sus and probably cooking something devious. Also, really want to know why Boruto ran from Code and why neither of them died during that fight. Yeah, this is quite interesting. To me, I'm gonna address the last thing that you talked about real quick. What I think happened in the fight is that probably Boruto, I don't know how nobody ended up dying, but I could guess that after Boruto scarred Code's eye, he ended up using some time space ninjutsu and dipping out of the fight as quick as possible. I don't know why Sasuke wasn't there, because to me it seems like Sasuke did not participate in that fight. I don't know how they didn't die. I don't know how Boruto escaped with no injuries but still lost. This fight is very interesting. I can't wait till we get that flashback and we see what truly happened in that fight. But what you're talking about is very interesting. Code potentially teaming up with Boruto, that's something that could happen if he doesn't end up trying to destroy the planet. This is something that maybe could happen. But the other thing is Amado not being there. I think a lot of people have forgot about Amado, myself included. Everything right now is peak, and it makes me forget of people like Amado, but that's what Kijimoto wants to happen. He wants us to forget about Amado, so we focus on this fight, and then Amado does something crazy. Amado reveals some other stuff that we have not thought about before, and it's going to be crazy. The next comment is by Amaterasu. I think Momoshiki and Boruto's consciousness merge over. That's why Boruto looks and acts similar to Momoshiki, but because of his willpower, he can control his emotions and he can do the right thing to protect everybody. Yeah, this is very interesting, and I love the idea of this merger. This merger thing that a lot of people are discussing is very interesting. I want to see how it's affecting Boruto right now. I want to see how Boruto is dealing with everything when it has to do with Momoshiki and Boruto, because he still has the karma in my belief, even though he has not used it. When he was fighting the Claw Rhymes, unlike Kawaki, he did not use his karma, and I potentially think that he won't be using his karma, because now that they are like really merging right now, maybe every time Boruto uses the karma, he is like almost possessed by Momoshiki. Something's crazy happen when he uses the karma, so he doesn't want to use the karma and wants to use his own power, which is quite interesting, man. This dynamic between Boruto and Momoshiki is one that a lot of people have forgotten about because of everything that is happening, which is the testament of Kijimoto's writing. But when we get back to that, it's going to be crazy. I don't think it's going to be some Kurama things, even though I know that Kijimoto loves Kurama. He does love Kurama a lot, so maybe they do. So maybe Boruto and Momoshiki have that Kurama-like relationship, but if they don't, it's going to be something even crazier, because I do believe that Boruto and Momoshiki's minds are merging, and this is why you have to watch this video right here as I discuss all the different ways Boruto and Momoshiki are merging right now.